If you're looking to have a perfect start in AC Black Flag Resynced and you want to feel pretty overpowered early, then today's video I'm going to be breaking down quite a few items, upgrades, and legendary outfits that's going to really help your early game progression. Most of these things are going to bring you some type of value, like the ability to increase the resource gain, give you passive income as you walk around, auto looting features, some pretty substantial damage increases on weapons, and unlimited ammunition, and just a ton of early game items that's just going to make you OP. Of course, there will be timestamps below for every one of the items. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's dive right on into the video. Alright, first things first, let's go over a handful of utility items. They're not necessarily going to give you a ton of power, but they're going to make your gameplay experience significantly easier. The first is going to be this Diamond Trinket, which oxygen drains slower while diving underwater. You will run across many points of interest during the game or just events where you need to go underwater. Having this as an option is going to be very beneficial, and you can get it at the very beginning of the game. So at the very beginning of the game, when you take down Wadpool, who attacks you in the jungle, you're going to make your way to this synchronized viewpoint located here on the map. It's 150 by 586. What you're looking for is a little bitty pool here of water, and basically you're just going to dive down. As you get down there, you will notice a treasure chest which will have this item. This is going to be the first and easiest trinket to pick up. Very easy to find, and again, just very useful for the underwater parts of the game. It is actually pretty significant. For our next item, we're going to be looking at the exotic seashell. And what this does is it increases the wildlife products gained from skinning animal. Now, the obvious benefit here is whenever you're farming for hides and things to upgrade your pouch, because you're going to need to upgrade your equipment, and they will require varying amounts of different types of hides and pelts. Being able to actively be able to farm this efficiently is going to be very big for you. Now, inevitably, you're going to make your way to Havana because you kind of just have to go there for the main story. And where you're trying to make your way to is this location at 214 by 568. And within this location, you will find a hidden treasure chest kind of sitting in the middle. You should be able to just easily climb in here, pick it up, and you'll have yourself one of the best trinkets early on in the game for utility. All right, now that you guys have some utility stuff for your character, let's go over some upgrades for your ship. There are going to be some utility here as well as some offensive things. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is the front weapon double shot ability. And what this does is it fires 2 volleys of round shots to damage enemy ships and create weak points. This is a absolute game changer because it does an extreme amount of damage, and for the most part it costs literally no ammo. It's going to be significantly easier to take out targets from a frontal area. But your frontal guns are a little bit on the weaker side compared to like your side cannons, and this one gives you a ton of utility. So what you're looking for is to come over here to the Dry Turga location, and there's a fort located here. Now, I've already defeated it in my game, but this is one of the easiest forts to take down by a large margin. You're only going to have to deal with like a handful of wall defenses. In the zones you've invested even a small amount into your mortars, all you need to do is just get the base level mortar upgrade. It doesn't cost more than a few thousand, and this is going to set you up to pretty much dominate everything in the first 2 regions for the most part. You generally shouldn't have a hard time with any ships. There's nothing too dangerous there except for maybe some of the convoys, but they don't usually attack you. Regardless, this fort is going to be super good because it's going to not only unlock the fleet map for you, which is actually pretty big for your progression, but it's also going to give you the double shot whenever you take it out. And you can start sending ships in this region to actually do some piracy stuff. So heading over here is big priority. Finish this fort off and then you will get the double shot. All right, next we're going to be going over 2 trinkets that work hand in hand. First is going to be the Anchor Medallion, which increases the rewards from floating loot. And then we're going to be picking up the Golden Earring, which reduces the gain of wanted levels from acts of piracy. Obviously, the reason why these two work extremely well together is because if you're doing piracy stuff, you're going to be getting wanted level. And if you're fighting a lot of enemies, sometimes you will accidentally sink them when you don't board them. Or if you don't even care to just jump on the ship, you can just use this to give yourself some extra loot. They work extremely good together. So where you're going to be going is not too far from the actual previous location. So this is the fort you went to go take to get your weapon. You're just going to make your way all the way down here to this island here, and where this little pond is at 465,601. And this is basically where you're going to find another treasure chest. Go down there into the water and open it up, and you can easily pick up the first item, which is going to be the Golden Medallion. Then from the Dry Turga area, you're going to make your way all the way down to this island here called Sacrifice Island. And then what you're looking for is this building here. And within this building here, you're going to find another chest that's going to be heavily guarded by a lot of enemies. Make sure you're actively, clearing this area out because there's a lot of enemies. Now, while you're over there, there's actually going to be 2 other bonus items I didn't mention that's going to be here. And there's going to be the Captain Drake sword, which is a pretty significant damage increase. And from what you would naturally have at this point, which would be 17, is a pretty significant increase, almost double damage, actually over double damage increase. So you want to grab this. And the other thing you can find here is Captain Drake's legendary outfit. So you're going to get a legendary and a really solid weapon. So basically from there, you're just going to make your way out towards the left side. What you're looking for is to essentially come out to this cliff face, climb up the stairs here, and then you're just going to shimmy all the way around the hillside to the side. And there will be another chest here. You open it up and inside will be this pretty significant damage upgrade for your Drake sword. And then basically from there, you're going to head all the way to the east side, which is basically right about here on the map. And inside the water here, you'll see another chest, which will contain the Drake outfit. Two, again, very good upgrades, and they're going to be pretty significant for your future gameplay. Alright, next let's go over the Dark Corsair Flintlock pistols. And what these do is whenever you shoot an enemy, it's going to basically ricochet the bullet. So you basically get double the value out of one shot. And this works extremely well with another thing we're going to go over in a second. But generally speaking, you really want to pick this up. Now this one is not something you can just go find. This one is something you just do naturally from playing the game. So I'm in the game now and I'm just going to show you how to do it. You're just going to basically hit escape or whatever the key is for you. Up here at the top left, you'll see the Animus here. Grab that. And then there's going to be 3 different things you can get, which is going to be Riptides, Undertow. What you're looking for is Eyes in the Dark. This reward track is kind of like a battle pass, but it's kind of free. You just kind of play. And you're looking to get these data fragments, which is going to help you out. To do this, it's pretty easy. Just go to your map. Go to the quest log in the top right. Then at the very bottom, you'll see these anomalies and basically just track them down. I think the first day I was able to get almost to the full reward track. And then whenever the reset is, you'll be able to easily finish that all the way up until you get it. So this may take a day or two to get, but still something super worth getting because it's going to be very valuable. Another thing to keep in mind in the exchange part of this is going to be something really big. And that is the ability to get 3 different weapons. Altair's sword, Ezio's sword, as well as Naoe's Shadowblade. And what you pick is obviously going to be up to your playstyle. Either way, whichever one is better suited for your playstyle, pick what you want. But you need to find keys around the map. Now, keys are not necessarily the hardest to come by, but what you're going to do is come into synchronization. And then as you can see on screen now, I went to the journey section and then I did the eyes that marked him. And then you can claim it once you complete all these quests in here. And each one of them will give you a benefit, so make sure you're doing that. And basically you're going to use those keys to purchase these items. Now, one thing to keep in mind is as you're navigating around the world, you'll find locations that have keys in them. So if you're clearing islands, make sure you keep an eye out, just hover over it, you'll see them, and they will give you like 20 to 30 extra keys whenever you can. And it'll eventually add up so you can get these powerful weapons because they are very beneficial. All right, next let's go over a handful of items you can get from the general store because these are actually pretty stand out. What I mean by the general store is at your main base, you can upgrade your store to level 2. I think it's going to be a total of like 3,500 to upgrade it to that point. And then you can purchase 2 really beneficial items. The first and probably the most important is going to be this Lodestone Rare Trinket. It will automatically loot corpses and heroes automatically. And what this means is if they drop smoke bombs, they drop bullets, anything, health remedies, any of those things, it will automatically be picked up. And this is really, really nice, especially when you're in the middle of a fight. You may need something, and even more so when you're actively navigating around the world. Sometimes you'll just see random money just coming to you because they were on the ground. This will automatically loot it, and I think it pays for itself super easily. The other thing you're going to want to pick up are these standard pistol swords. And while their damage is a little bit lower than Drake's sword, they actually have some really good utility. The main thing being you actually get to fire shots at the cost of no ammo. So when you're actively fighting enemies, you can kind of chain a lot of attacks. I actually have a build coming up on the channel where it's going to be just like this pure gunslinger build. And this works extremely well with that kind of build. And when you're hunting animals too, it makes it easier for you to kind of hit them. So it's actually pretty big. Again, you're going to need to go to your store and purchase these things. You should have gotten about 6K from finishing that fort. And if I had to give some advice on locations you can go to like earn some easy cash, while I wouldn't call this cave necessarily easy, I would say it has a lot. That's this Ambergris Key. And this location is very far into the bottom left. So if you do want to go on a selling mission, as you can see here, it's kind of far. This place gives, I believe it was like 8K when I came in here. So you just go in there, you go and clear out the chest and kill all the enemies in here. And you can easily get like 8K super easy, real fast. And you can kind of get some of the points of interest in this area anyway. So it's kind of nice. And there you have it, guys. Those are a ton of early game items, just general upgrades and things like that can really help your early game progression. Most of these, of course, you can just go straight up to and get them, and or get them super early, because again, they're just very easy things to get. Now, keep in mind, if you did find anything else that could help someone out, leave them down in the comments so we can help some other players out. Maybe I'll go pick them up and put it in the next video. If you do appreciate the work that goes into these videos, consider leaving a like, or even better yet, subscribe to the channel. We still have a lot of AC coming to the channel. As always, guys, my name is Fervor. I really appreciate you all stopping by, and I'll see you in the next Assassin's Creed video very soon.